In this video, I want to give you guys 5 quick tips on how you can make the best action video you can using just a phone. Stay tuned. First up, be sure you're filming in landscape mode. This means hold your phone sideways. Tip 2, all right, there's a secret app. It's called ProMovie. Yes, your phone has video built into the camera app, and that works pretty well. But ProMovie has several advantages. It's got a higher bit rate, so the files are bigger and a little bit higher quality than just the native video format files from your camera app. And it works really well for the unemployment line edit, which we have a link to below, and in the YouTube card. Tip number 3, be sure you're using different focal lengths in your video. So yes, you can digitally zoom by pinching on the screen. That looks terrible, don't do that. Check out some aftermarket lenses. I was checking out some guys called Moment, and their stuff's really good. I got their wide angle lens and I got their telephoto lens. So what's the point of having different lenses? Well, it makes your video way more entertaining. If everything's filmed at the same focal length, it gets pretty boring pretty quick. If you're going to something wider, like the Moment wide angle lens, then you can see a heck of a lot more in that shot. It changes the perception. It just makes it a much more engaging piece of video. I much prefer the wide angle Moment over the telephoto. I think we only kept 1 or 2 shots in the video that were filmed with the telephoto because they're not as sharp as the wide angle ones. If I was doing this again, I would probably just get the wide angle Moment lens, and you need to get a case that'll hold your lens to the phone. The lens just slides into the case right there to hold it in place. You just twist it, puts it on and off. Be sure you take the lens off the case anytime you put it in your pocket, otherwise it'll tear out of the case. The case itself, it's super strong. My little baby has thrown my phone across the room more times than I care to remember, and the phone has yet to break. So I have a link in the description below that goes straight to the Moment website. Definitely consider getting a wide angle lens. They have a new anamorphic lens that sounds really cool. Tip 4, use a tripod. So if your phone is being jiggled all over the place, it looks really amateur and it's super hard to watch that kind of footage. Any kind of a tripod you can get is a lot better than none. If your friend is holding your phone for you, widen up how they're holding it. So like zip tying your phone to an old pair of handlebars, it'll make it way more stable because it's just easier to hold up something that wide versus this tiny thing that's easier to rotate. Tripod is the way to go. You could get something as simple as a Gorilla Pod, and there's a ton of tripod adapters out there. I just got a cheap tripod adapter on Amazon. It's terrible. The thing flexes a ton. And in some of my shots, you can see it's a little bit jittery. That's because this thing is just flexing. So with the Moment lens on here, the phone gets pretty heavy. And a lot of these aren't meant to actually work in the field on a tripod and being panned and whatnot. If you use a tripod, get a good adapter for your phone. You can make one out of an old paper clip, and that would probably work just as good as this guy. Lesson learned. And tip number 5. Be ridiculous. Use a really fancy gimbal if you have it. I have a DJI Ronin-M. This thing's awesome. I love this thing. We use it almost every day. I just use that tripod adapter to put the iPhone in the center of the Ronin to get some of those really cool stabilized shots with some good motion in them. It would work better if it was a heavier phone. So if you add some weight to your phone before you balance it on the stabilizer, it'll look a lot better. The motors need a little bit of resistance to keep the balance. That about wraps it up. 5 easy tips on how to improve your action sports videos. If you have any questions for me and how we made our unemployment line video, drop me a comment below. And if you like this video, click that subscribe button.